1,000 realms existed alongside our own, each one pulsed with unique magic, a symphony of wonder and danger. This is the story of one such realm, teetering on the brink of destruction. Imagine a world where the sun barely peeked through the smoke-filled sky. The air itself crackled with chaotic energy, a palpable tension that sent shivers down your spine. This was Aloria, a land where magic was as common as air, but just as unpredictable. Creatures of myth and legend roamed free, some benevolent, others harboring a hunger for destruction. The very essence of this world was unraveling. The forces of darkness had risen, their power growing with each passing day. The land was scarred by their passage, a testament to their brutal power. Whispers of a prophecy echoed through the ravaged lands. It spoke of a chosen few, heroes from another world who would rise to stand against the encroaching darkness. Their arrival was Aloria's last hope, a beacon of light in the gathering storm. From the bustling heart of New York City they came. 5 individuals, each leading a life as ordinary as the next, unaware of the destiny that awaited them. 5 ordinary individuals plucked from their lives and thrust into a world beyond their wildest imaginations. They were transported through a mystical portal, landing in the heart of Aloria's turmoil, a land teetering on the brink of collapse. Each possessed a unique skill set, a hidden potential that had been dormant until now. Their abilities were awakened by the desperate call of a dying realm. Aloria, a mystical realm in turmoil, had summoned them in its hour of need. The skies were dark, the lands ravaged, and hope was a scarce commodity. There was Sarah, the archer, her arrows blessed with uncanny accuracy. She could hit a target from miles away, her precision unmatched. By her side stood Marcus, the warrior, his every swing of his broadsword echoing with the strength of 1,000 men. His courage was as formidable as his strength. Marcus's presence on the battlefield was a beacon of hope, his strength a rallying point for the others. Emily, the sorceress, commanded the very elements, her eyes blazing with raw magical power. She could summon storms and control fire with a mere thought. John, the rogue, moved like a phantom, his daggers whispering tales of swift and silent justice. His stealth was unparalleled, making him a shadow in the night. And then there was Kai. Unlike the others, Kai's role was not to attack, but to defend. While the others were chosen for their offensive prowess, Kai was different. He was the shield-bearer, a protector in a world that desperately needed one. He was the shield-bearer, his destiny intertwined with a massive ornate shield that appeared alongside him during the summoning. This shield was no ordinary piece of armor. It was heavier than any metal should be, imbued with an ancient magic that whispered of forgotten battles. The shield was a relic from a bygone era, its surface etched with ancient symbols and battle scars that told tales of its storied past. It was a bastion of hope, a symbol of unwavering defense in a world consumed by chaos. The shield's magic was a beacon, guiding the summoned 5 in their quest to save Aloria. This was no ordinary shield. It was a bastion of hope, a symbol of unwavering defense in a world consumed by chaos. Together, the summoned 5 would face the darkness, their fates intertwined with the destiny of Aloria. From the moment he first hefted the shield, Kai felt its weight. It was more than just a piece of metal, it was a symbol, a responsibility that he had to bear. It wasn't just the physical heaviness that burdened him, it was the expectation, the pressure to live up to the legacy of those who had carried it before him. The unspoken belief that his role was secondary, purely defensive, gnawed at him. He was seen as the one who would protect, not the one who would lead. The other heroes treated him with a thinly veiled disdain, their eyes always judging, their whispers always present, their words laced with pity and barely concealed impatience. They saw him as a necessary but uninspiring part of the team. They saw the shield as a crutch, a symbol of cowardice. To them, it was a sign of weakness, a tool for those too afraid to fight head-on. Why would anyone choose to hide behind a shield when they could be on the attack, they scoffed. Their laughter echoed in his ears, a constant reminder of their scorn. Their words stung, but Kai held his tongue. He knew that arguing would only make things worse. He knew his own strength, the quiet resilience that allowed him to stand firm in the face of adversity. He trained in solitude, honing his skills, preparing for the day he would prove them wrong. The quiet resilience that allowed him to stand firm in the face of adversity. He understood that true strength lay not only in dealing damage, but also in protecting others, in being the unyielding wall that stood between his companions in the storm. He knew that his role was crucial, even if others couldn't see it. He understood that true strength lay not only in dealing damage, but also in protecting others, in being the unyielding wall that stood between his companions and the storm. He would show them that a shield wasn't just for defense, it was a weapon in the right hands. It could be a tool of offense, a means to turn the tide of battle. It was a weapon in the right hands. He would demonstrate that the shield was not a sign of weakness, but a symbol of his strength and determination. The weight on his shoulders wasn't a burden, it was a challenge, an opportunity to prove them all wrong. He would carry the shield with pride, knowing that he was strong enough to bear its weight, an opportunity to prove them all wrong. And when the time came, he would stand tall, shield in hand, ready to face whatever came his way. Their first mission was a perilous one: venture into the heart of the Demon Lands and retrieve a stolen artifact. The stakes were high and the dangers were unimaginable. The artifact held the power to tip the balance between good and evil, and its retrieval was crucial for the survival of their world. The air hung heavy with the stench of sulfur and death. Every breath was a struggle, a reminder of the hostile environment they had dared to enter. The skies were dark, perpetually shrouded in a grim, smoky haze that blocked out the sun. The ground was littered with the bones of those foolish enough to trespass on this cursed land. Each step crunched underfoot, a grim testament to the countless lives lost in this forsaken place. The skeletal remains served as a dire warning of the fate that awaited them should they fail. The four heroes, eager to prove themselves, charged ahead, their weapons blazing with righteous fury. Their hearts were filled with determination and their spirits were unyielding. They believed in their mission and in each other, ready to face whatever horrors lay ahead. Kai, ever vigilant, followed behind, his shield held high, ready for any unseen threat. His eyes scanned the dark environment, always on the lookout for danger. He knew that in a place like this, vigilance was their only hope of survival. They fought their way through hordes of demonic entities, their skills honed by desperation and fueled by the thrill of battle. Each clash was a test of their strength and resolve, and with every victory, their confidence grew. But the demons were relentless, and the battles seemed never-ending. But the deeper they ventured, the more the land seemed to twist their perceptions, amplifying their doubts and fears. The very ground beneath their feet seemed to shift and warp, playing tricks on their minds. It was as if the demon lands themselves were alive, feeding on their insecurities. Resentment festered in their hearts, fueled by the whispering shadows of the demon lands. The shadows seemed to speak to them, sowing seeds of doubt and mistrust. What once was a united front began to fracture under the weight of their growing paranoia. They began to see Kai's caution as cowardice, his unwavering defense as a lack of commitment to their cause. The once respected shield-bearer was now viewed with suspicion and disdain. The unity that had been their strength was now their greatest weakness. And so, in a moment of desperation and shadowed judgment, they struck. The decision was made in the heat of the moment, driven by fear and the insidious whispers of the land. It was a betrayal that would haunt them forever. Surrounded by a tide of demonic horrors, they turned on Kai, their blades flashing with a betrayal colder than the abyss itself. The shock and pain in Kai's eyes were unmistakable, but there was no time for words. The demons closed in, and the hero's unity shattered in an instant. Left for dead, his shield the only barrier between him and the ravenous horde, Kai understood the true cost of trust. Alone and outnumbered, he fought with every ounce of strength he had left. In that moment, he realized that the greatest danger in the Demon Lands was not the demons, but the betrayal of those he once called friends.